Welcome to the CXR channel, our premier podcast for talent acquisition and talent management. Listen in as the CXR community discusses a wide range of topics focused on attracting, engaging, and retaining the best talent. We're glad you're here.
Hi, everybody. Chris Way here from Career Crossroads. I am bringing you into the fold on a new podcast or videocast series that we've been delivering for, I guess, just about 2 months now. Now, I get to take on the lucky task of sitting down with an industry leader and a practitioner and ask them to share just one thing that they've learned on their professional journey, felt as a leader, or that they do in their everyday delivery that really makes them successful. Now, these talks are really no more than about 10 or 15 minutes, and as such, we call them an expert tease. Now, you can listen in live and participate with questions and chat, or you can find them on our website at cxr.works or Career Crossroads Podcast, or on the youtube.com/Career Crossroads channel. I'm going to tell you, if you're watching live, you realize there's never been a better time to dial in because I apparently look like a pumpkin with the lighting in a remote situation today. So that's a good excuse to push you out to the YouTube channel and check that out. So if you are with us live, you've got the opportunity to drop a question in the session chat. And if we've time, we'll try to address them during that segment. If we run out of time or there are follow-up questions, we'll take that conversation over to the open and public exchange that is hosted by CXR, and that's at cxr.works/talent talks. Now, the topic today is one that I have been looking forward to for quite a while. It touches on a subject of DE&I that I think oftentimes gets overlooked, that actually sits within an area of talent acquisition that so often gets ignored or avoided. Now, we're talking about job descriptions and being conscious of how important gender neutral pronouns can be when creating a successful description. As our guest today recommends, job stories, not descriptions. So let's jump in. Today, my guest is Kay Kelison, and she is the principal researcher at Zillow. Kay, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, Chris. I appreciate it.
I'm really happy to have you.
Great.
Now, I enjoy your work, but when you talk about gender neutral pronouns in job stories, what are you really talking about? Why is this so important?
Well, I think it's important because if we choose certain terms, we eliminate others. We need to think about who to include. And that goes with females, transgender, disability folks and stuff like that. And so I look at the job story about how we engage with them and how we make them feel welcome and thought of, in when we're seeking talent. And I think it begins with a job story or job descriptions, and how we engage with them by using language that they can relate to.
And what's something like that look like, Kay? Like what would be sort of a before and after example for those who this might be kind of a new topic for them?
Well, I think sometimes it starts with the title. Like I've seen some titles that had chairman when we should be saying chairperson. When we say he or her, we should be also thinking about them and they. It's inclusive. Some people don't identify as she and her or he and him. They identify themselves of them and they. Sometimes it's also as simple as elitist and affinity bias. I know some of us, when we're in tech, we talk about like how people associate their jobs or where they're looking out for talent, and a hire manager might start talking about, I'd like to have this guy from Harvard, this guy, and we don't think about that that's excluding women or transgender or LGBTQ, or also it's more like the likability, like they'll associate, like I'll go out for a beer with them, when they're interviewing, it's like, oh, this guy's great, I can go for a beer. Or when a woman's being interviewed or talked to, they're like, well, she talks too much, so that likability bias is also part of the inclusion too.
Oh, that's interesting. And is it lazy to take a swipe through the job descriptions and just get rid of he, she, and replace it with them or this person? Or is that an approach? Do you think that's sort of an appropriate approach?
Yes, the cool thing is that it's not as hard as we think it is. These days, there's some tools out there like Texio and Text Analyzer. There's actually a really good tool out there called Gender Decoder that helps you write job descriptions in an inclusive way. So we don't really have to overthink it. It's really simple mindset to just change that description. Like rock star hackers, that's very masculine. Now, some women may not think that, but we are eliminating some really awesome talent when we talk about rock star or even ageism. That's something that, especially when we're working in millennial mindset, there's some awesome people who are over 50 that can do the job too. Even though we're trying to attack the youngins out there, attract the young ones. We tend to dismiss the people who've been doing the job. And when I'm reading a job and I feel like I'm reading that, I'll automatically eliminate myself because I don't feel like they're going to even give me a chance. If they're talking about being a rock star or a guru, it's sort of like it's not a great approach. And we need to change that mindset if we want to really attract great talent.
So Kay, I think I have a question that's probably on a lot of people's minds.
Yep.
Rock star, guru, we get that, but what about the term ninja?
Well, I personally, I like ninja, but I don't think it's appropriate for a job description. I think we need to keep it to the basics and really talk to the reader and really talk to what we're trying to attract. Because again, that's why I like job stories, because job descriptions tend to just focus a template kind of mindset. Like they focus on the skill set. It's like, I need this person to be like me, or I need this person to be like, have these different skill sets, or our company is the greatest, but that's not really speaking to the candidate. We talk about transparency, we talk about values and stuff, but we don't demonstrate those values in the job description. And I know it's time consuming, and I know most of us recruiters tend to want to write it because we want to help the hiring manager because they don't have time and they rather just, this is what I want, I don't care about anything else. I think it takes a lazy step towards when we use the equal opportunity jargon at the end, and that checks the box of diversity. And I think that's a mistake when we just use that thinking we covered our bases.
Yeah, I mean, Kay, there is an argument that when leaders or project teams go through to clean up long-standing job descriptions, that a template be designed. And often that it includes maybe an introduction paragraph, 4 bullets of requirements, 4 bullets of what they'll actually be doing all day, and then a call to action. And that keeps it really simple. That gets rid of job descriptions. Some of them we've seen, they're just 42 bullets. That's it. Or that are paragraphs and paragraphs, or that are everything that the hiring manager wishes you could be. So if I tell you that I've got a template, and this is my new job description, talk to me just for a second, because we've got a minute or two left. Talk to me for just a second on why my job description template should be kind of a little bit of a swipe left in favor of your job story approach.
Well, I think you can use a template, like you want to mark off what it is that you're advertising, right? But it's how you use the language, it's how you present that. And I think we tend to use bullets because we want to have someone reading it quick and fast and apply. But we're also in this era of social, and we're in this era of authenticity. And I don't think by putting bullets in, which I'm not against it, but I think we tend to eliminate the possibility of having good conversations and sharing what it is and why we want that candidate to apply. I think sometimes our ego gets in the way. And if we use a template, it puts us in a position where we constantly look the same, we act the same, we behave the same. And if we don't put a little bit different language in each role, you're missing out.
Okay.
And I don't think it takes a lot to make that change. And I don't think, I'm not saying, I'm not excluding the template mindset, but sometimes we get lazy and then we'll lose out on some talent. But the template could be changed into a story. It's sort of like, instead of just putting out there like we have values, we have all these benefits, but it's not really inviting people to apply, especially if it's not in a language to where it's going to eliminate me, who are going to be wanting to jump at that job.
So Kay, I love that. We got a couple of questions that have come in private chat and a few in the public chat here. I'm just going to pull one out.
Right on.
Who, in your opinion, Kay, who does this well? Who should somebody who's getting ready to take on a big project like this go look at their job descriptions? And it's okay if you say Zillow. It's totally okay. But
well, I don't think there's one perfect company, but I know at Zillow, especially our executive team, we kind of set the standards, and we really have put a lot of effort into bringing in the talent as part of the conversation instead of us dictating what we want, dictating how we want it. And it's our efforts of trying to change that language. It is a mind shift because stories, people panic and stuff like that. It's not a novel. Although when you work with marketing team, I work with some awesome leaders who have written job descriptions like 6 pages.
Wow.
It's like, okay, this is a little bit too much. But the fun part is using tools that can help us. But I guess I lost my thought because I just got into Zillow. I love Zillow, but I don't have a specific company. But I'm hoping with our conversations like this, we can start influencing, and it's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. We learn by that. I love talking about this, so I would sit down with anybody and just start picking their brain and start helping them write their job descriptions. But if we can change that mindset, I think it'll elevate our engagement with talent.
I think that's great. Okay, this is so cool. I want to thank you, and we really appreciate all your time this morning and your willingness to look
Holy
at
crap, that was fast. Are you serious?
It does go fast.
God,
Like
going.
Our listeners do dial in. We've got a website up, guys. We have that exchange. It is cxr.work/talent talks, and that's going to let you drop some questions in there to Kay. Kay, I heard you volunteer to look at some job descriptions, so I'm expecting our listeners to paste some pretty bad ones in there so we can take a good look at them together.
I can also send out the tools that I recommend. I find it like a game. I look at it as a game, a puzzle. It's fascinating. It's fascinating when we take advantage of words.
Yeah, it's perfect. I'm looking forward to it. Look, everybody, next week, I'm going to be talking with Madeline Loreno, industry analyst and founder of Aptitude Research. She's going to join us on November 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern and share her insights on how to build the foundation of talent acquisition tech within your organization, from integration to data to automation. So I suspect whether you are an organization that barely has an ATS, or if you're just in the middle of a full-blown system integration or even an automation implementation, I think you're going to want to hear this. So until then, I hope we'll see everybody online at www.cxr.work/talent talks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the CXR channel. Please subscribe to CXR on your favorite podcast resource and leave us a review while you're at it. Learn more about CXR at our website, cxr.works, facebook.com and twitter.com/careercrossroads, and on Instagram at careerxroads. We'll catch you next time.